Hello, 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 amigas, and welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. I am excited to have a beautiful soul here with me today. Her name is Claudia Maldonado. And what's exciting is that she and I shared a stage for a authors panel at the BABC sponsors table. So it's a big mouthful, but it's just so beautiful and so cathartic to have her here. I love what she's been doing and the books that she's been writing. So she writes children's books. And here's the thing. She actually is kind of like me in the sense that I'm a lawyer, but I don't do that very much. But she has been in the educational system and she's been doing the early learning education, and it's so amazing what she has in store for us. She's written some fabulous, beautiful children's books, and I have one right in front of me. It's called Mama Works Very Hard. And the cool thing about all the books that she has, that she's written, that they are in different languages.
Yes.
So I'm excited. So welcome, 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 Claudia, to Amiga Hand Your Shit podcast.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Jackie, for having me. It's a pleasure and it's an honor to be in this podcast. I was so inspired by listening to your story at the BABC. I was so honored to be invited too, because I'm part of the club. But they asked me, "Do you want to be part of the panel?" I'm like, "Oh, of course." So yeah,
Right. So special. They're a very wonderful, special group. And
yes, it is.
I was a part of it, and then life happens, and so I had to kind of step away from it. But they're amazing. They're doing amazing work. And so, amigas, I had the actually a couple of months ago, I had some of the scholarship recipients on the podcast, and it was so beautiful, so perfect.
Oh, how
Full circle
nice.
moment. I loved it. But amiga, the reason
Mm-hmm.
we're here to talk about you and your books. And so, before we dive into the books, let's talk about who Claudia is. Like, where is she from? Because that background is so important for us to know. So please tell us.
Yes. So Claudia Maldonado, myself, I was born in El Salvador, um, and arrived to the U.S. In the 80s due to the Civil War that my country was experiencing at that time. My brother was assassinated. So at that point, my mom made the decision to fly to Los Angeles. Not fly, cross borders and arrive to Los Angeles. So I am an early childhood educator, like you just said. I have been working with all types of families. I'm very inclusive, and thank goodness that I landed in programs, in child development programs where they were and they are inclusive. So I have served all types of families for over 20 years. And now I am an author of children books. My books are multicultural and trilingual and bilingual books.
Ooh, I love that. I'm like, when she said it was trilingual, I said, what other language?
I know, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, so before we jump into the books, I wanted to just kind of tap in a little bit about child, development.
Hmm.
And what is it that you saw in that spearheaded your author book writing?
Yeah, I think it's serving families, being part of so many different um, experiences, family types, parents, and I saw one common denominator in them, which is hardworking families, families that are concerned of their children's education. So that was always very inspiring to me because I saw my mom in them. I saw her coming to this country, not knowing the language, not knowing what type of school do I place these kids in, not knowing anything and not having any guide. So by me being able to guide these families uh, from taking them to the DMV and getting an ID to giving them a resource of how to get free food, anything and everything that I can assist these families. I think that was very rewarding for me. And how I learned or how I became an early childhood education was by accident. Like
Mm.
many things happen to us in our lives by accident. It was a mandatory to be a volunteer in my eldest daughter classroom, and that's where I learned about early childhood education. So I think all this experience of working with families led me to write about these families. Let me write about them. And the seed was always planted there for many, many years, but it never happened. I
Yeah.
would sit down, okay, this is it. Let me brainstorm. Nothing would happen. In 2020, I lost my sister, and it was
Mhm.
shocking moment for all of us. We knew she was ill, but we didn't know that she was literally dying. So,
Wow.
so that I guess that pain turned into just I wouldn't know the word, but I just wanted to honor her. And
Yeah.
and all these things came like, she was a good mom. Wow, she used to drive all this school. Wow, wow, wow. Wait a minute, I did that too. Oh, and Senora Vasquez went back to school. So that's when I started making all these connections
The
of,
connections. Yeah.
yes, of writing about mom.
Yeah. And it seemed like the pain turned into purpose for you.
Yes, absolutely not planning. There was no brainstorming. It was very organic, very natural, very in a very normal setting. I kid you not, I was driving on the 91 freeway, just the freeway I was in right now, and I remember all these lines coming into me, and I'm like, well, I'm driving. I started recording myself. And
Oh,
I'm a very good storyteller. I do a lot of read out louds, and I'm very successful on that, making voices and all that good stuff. So I was saying those lines that were coming in my imagination at that time that I was driving, the way that I would read them to children. And yeah, it was very magical moment.
oh my
And
God.
everything else is history. Now ideas are coming like crazy. Have you seen that movie Beautiful Mind?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
where he sees all these numbers and
Yes.
that's how it is with I'm very strong with titles. I'm noticing myself as an author. Those titles are just coming like woo woo. I don't know how to explain it to you.
No, no, I believe me. It's almost like it's that it ignited a spirit in you that just took off.
Absolutely.
It's
I
in
can
black.
tell you, Jackie, that I am living the best years of my life.
Woo! Amen.
Amen. Amen, amiga, because yes, I was very content. And like I said, it was very inspiring, very rewarding being an early childhood educator. And I feel that I had the passion because I believe of what I did and do. But this is beyond that. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes.
bet to see
Yeah.
it in action is so
Mhm.
different than just thinking of it, putting it on a board, visualizing it is one thing, but
Mhm.
actually physically holding it in your hands is a whole different process. And I know that we can get into the details of that, but
Mhm.
let's walk us through that first book that came to your mind. So
Yes.
let's talk about that.
Yes. So as I was saying, when I was looking at all these lines, and those lines become a story, and I started seeing myself, different moms. My sister, she was the oldest of the family, female oldest, and like many other cultures, the oldest become the second mom to most
Yeah.
of the siblings.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
by
yeah,
choice,
yeah.
yeah, not by choice, but because that was the expectations. So visualizing that and remembering all those memories, um, I said, I'm gonna write about moms. We are so creative, multitasker, but one of the things, especially our Latinas mom, and not minimizing any other culture or people, but we're resilient.
Mhm.
We never give up. No
Yeah.
matter what, we figured things out. And so then I wanted that. I wanted to produce a book that a child can see themselves. Hey, that child has brown eyes just like me. That mom has rulos, I call it rulos in her head, like me when I'm half cooking, preparing my hair, and then doing something else because I do three things at the same time. So that's what I wanted to produce. And the one last thing, Jackie, this is
Yeah.
hilarious. Not hilarious, but it's really good. When I decided to write that book, I was an administrator I was a director for a child development program, and I had a very difficult supervisor, and
Mm.
I hated it. I hated it. And that's a strong voice. That's a strong word, but I was very, very
You,
unhappy.
yeah, you guys were not on the same page, let's just
We're
say.
no, and also with the politics of a school district, with all my
Oh,
respects to everyone else, I just don't have the wisdom to pretend to be someone else. So I was very very unhappy at that time, and I said and my boss not being very supportive, and I think he had something against women. But anywho, so then I said, you know what? I like the title Mama Works Very Hard, because yes, we do. And I didn't want Mama Works Hard. No, very hard. I wanted that. And in Spanish, I wanted muchísimo. I wanted that accent there to
yeah.
make the point. So anyway,
Yeah.
so I tell him, I'm writing a children's book. Oh, without even looking at me, or probably not even listening to my words. And he's like, oh, good, good, good. And then I said, I'm gonna call it Mama Works Very Hard. He lifted his head up, and he just went ha 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 ha. Ha. And I looked at him and I said, "That's it. That's the title. Mama Works
Yeah.
Hard."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, seriously, because, you know, some people can't be a part of your vision,
Mhm.
right? That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And lucky for you to get that reaction, because that just gave you like más cojones, like, all right,
Yes.
right? Like, amiga,
Yes.
handle your shit. You're handling it, right?
Yes, yes, because he just represents a very big amount of society looking at women as if we don't have our thing together. We are all over the place. No, 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 we're multitasker, and we can do three, four different things at the same time and perfectly. So yeah, he just represent that part of society that sees us that way. And I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. And now I have decided this is a series. I'm gonna focus on so many different moms, because every mom deserves that honor of
Yeah.
seeing themselves in a book
Right.
and
Right.
seeing all that struggle that
Oh,
we go through.
yeah, I mean, yes, that's a reverence to a mom,
Mhm.
to the female, right? Because we
Yeah.
do need that. We need those beautiful stories to be highlighted. And I read your mama's work very hard, and I started thinking, I'm like, are we talking about Claudia? Because it seems to be because
We're
I
talking
was
a little bit about Claudia, Señora Vasquez, you name it. You name it. It represents a lot of moms. Yeah, a lot of
Yes.
moms.
So tell me about your other books, because I know you have Billy figurine. Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
so I have him. No, 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 no. That's not a book. It's just a figurine. But
Oh,
my
okay.
second book, I don't have it around, but is Papa Knows Best.
Papa knows
Papá
best.
sabe lo todo. And the reason why, being an educator, yes, the percentage of that adult guiding our children in school are moms,
Yeah.
yes. But I still had those dads. I
Yeah.
still had those dads that they came and helped me, that they wanted to be part of their volunteer in the
Yeah.
classroom, be part of the children. So that the actual idea of writing a dad's book came from that of the same experience. So that
Yeah.
is the second book.
Yeah. And then I can see that, especially like I have my kid is older now. She's 13 years old, but I've seen just the dads being super involved and likewise with the moms. So it's almost like we're changing the narrative. that it's
Yes.
not just the moms being
Yes.
involved, which I'm so happy for.
I'm very happy. A lot has to do with the programs that we have in our schools, of involving the parent, of educating those fathers and also the moms, educating them to cut that cycle. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a girl thing. Oh, that's for the mom to do. No, it's for you to do. You can do a cooking lesson with your child,
Yeah.
and be very productive. So yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. So tell me, are you still in the classroom or are you fully dedicated to writing?
No, I'm my own boss. So I am not an administrator anymore, but I am an independent consultant, and I provide services for child development programs in Southern California. I do a lot of read out louds when it comes to my books. So I have that business, and I can say, oh, it's part-time, but actually sometimes it's full-time. And then my book, which is my weekends, where I try to brainstorm interview of my next project. So that is another part-time, and at times it becomes a full-time. So yeah, you can say two part-times and at one at one point two full-times jobs.
Therefore, Mama works very hard.
I should write author works very hard.
Arthur, maybe you need a book for that too.
Yeah, yeah, honoring those authors, yes, and bringing all these stories to our communities. Because I
Yes.
remember back some what 10, 15 years, it was the little ducky, the little bear, but there was nothing that represent us,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
represent our children. And like my third book, Around the Globe with Mandy, La Vuelta al Mundo con Mandy. She's a Afro Latina, and I wanted her as an Afro Latina because why not? She's gonna be around the globe, and why not? She's speaking Mandarin, and if she wants, she can speak Spanish and her English. Why not? So that's empowering those girls.
Oh, 1000%. This is perfect. Perfect, especially with BABC. Like
Yes.
that's just such another like example of si se puede, it can happen, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So now that you have these books, so what are you working on right now?
I'm working on a book for autism awareness. And this
Ooh,
is going to be to honor my nephew. And I'm sure there's someone in every family that is under the spectrum.
yeah.
And what it is a book about just figuring, not figuring, oh, I can't, pointing or focusing on the positive and how brilliant they can be, and how productive to society they can
Yeah.
be if they get the right foundation, the right starting point. So that's what my book is going to be about. Of course, it's a children's book, and it's going to be fun, like all my books. Multicultural. We're going to see a character that is Asian, a character that is African American, a character that is Latino, and a character that is Caucasian, because anyone and everyone can be under the spectrum. So this book is very inclusive.
Yes. And do you have examples? You said you had your nephew or one of the
Yeah, so
family members?
my nephew, has autism. Autism doesn't have him. And right
Mm,
now he's learning, this is how magnificent it is. He is learning to play self-taught, playing the piano just by listening to piano music. This
yeah.
is how
Oh, yeah.
beautiful this is. Yeah.
Oh, 1000%.
Yeah.
I see that all the time. And I likewise, I have a nephew who is on the spectrum and brilliant. The
Mhm.
ideas that he comes up with, I'm like,
Mhm.
and who are you?
Mhm. Absolutely. Yes.
No, the most important thing is to foster that
Yes.
instead of shutting them down, right?
Exactly, exactly. And that is the reason why I want to focus on all the positive thing, to teach parents that no, that's not the end of the world. This is just something different and brilliant that you have in front. So get the tools, get those knowledge of how to work with your child, and your child is going to be fine. And one of the things that I really like about autism children is that they're truthful, And you're going to see that in my book. Oh my God. Because you know why? Because they live in the moment. When we're
Yeah,
children, we're all live in the moment, right? I want to play right now. I want some popcorn. Me, present, present, present. Once we get older, I gotta pay the rent. We're worried about the future, and the future is not even promised.
right, right,
We
right, right,
forget to be in the
right.
moment.
Be in the moment. Yeah, and it's very true.
Yeah.
And it's important to learn from them. Learn from the kids because they obviously they live in the moment. And then they say that the kids they don't lie because it's like they
Yeah.
actually are saying what
Very
they believe
truthful.
right there. They believe it, they see it, and they spit it out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah. They're very perfectionist, so very truthful. They stay in the moment and they just tell you what they know. And that's
wow.
the beauty of it.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, so
And we need
exciting.
to be
So,
reminded, Jackie, we need to be reminded to go back to that era where we lived in the moment and just
mm.
enjoy every second of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
1000%. So how can we find you? How can someone come and buy one of or all of your books?
Oh, yes. Through my social media, I have everything linked in Instagram is Claudia M. period autora, the word autora, author in Spanish. And I am there. My website is linked to my Instagram account. I'm also in Facebook and TikTok. TikTok, I'm under Claudia M. period autora, but I need to spend a little bit more time to activate that, that account or to maintain it. And then I'm in Facebook as Claudia Maldonado, autora.
Yeah, it's all these social media
Oh
outlets. I'm like,
gosh, that could be another podcast.
that's a
Be
whole
another
different
podcast.
job. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
Lordy.
And I
Yeah.
know there's all these AI tools and I do use them, but ay, Dios mío, it still
To
requires a
keep up.
person to do it,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
still requires.
Yeah.
So, amiga, you've been handling your shit. So, I always ask my amigas if they could provide one or two tips on how an amiga can handle her shit. What do you say?
I have three for you.
Ándale, dámelos.
Para que un dos ni uno no, tres, te voy a dar tres. Get
Okay.
organized. Get
Oh,
organized. Yes, use planners, whatever works for you. Remember, we have different learning styles. And like me, when I write my books, I first record myself because I guess that was the way I started. And then I put it down, brainstorm in a paper, and then I go to my document. So it's a process. Get organized. Whatever stage in your life you're in, just that would be the number one. Boundaries. It is okay to say no. If it is doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Don't feel guilty. Oh my God. No, no, no. It's about you and mental health and focus on you. Because if you just think about this analogy of your cell phone. If when you use your cell phone, you're using your cell phone, what happens to the battery? It goes down. So what do you need to do? You need to charge your phone and the battery goes all the way up. That's the same
yeah.
with us. We need to charge ourselves. We need to focus on ourselves because once we're drained, we can't help anyone. We can't help anyone. So have that in mind. Always, always boundaries. And the mental health. Mental health is extremely vital for us to be stable. So mindfulness, practice exercise. I love hiking. So I go for a hike when I feel very stressed and that automatically just brings me down and I come singing. So whatever works for you, find that and do it.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Get organized, have boundaries, and practice mindfulness. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Is there anything you'd like for us to know and so that our listeners can hear? Do you have
No,
any?
I'm just very grateful for this podcast, for this moment, for meeting you, Jackie, for
Oh,
hearing your
likewise.
your your story at that event, and looking forward to just hang out and I don't know, to have some coffee. So it's just thank you so much. Thank you so much
Oh,
for this chance.
well, thank you so much, Claudia, for being on Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast.
Yes, of course. I love the title, by the way.
Everybody does.
I'm telling you, it's that title, right?
It's very catchy. It's very catchy. Well,
Yes,
thank you
yes,
so much, Claudia. And I look forward to many, many, many more panels, more visits, more
yes.
meetups.
Absolutely.
Yeah.